What's up, guys? It's Missy. I'm back with another SimCity build a video. Sorry. Okay, so this player is in my group. They recently joined my group, so this is, I believe, their second week in Mega. So I'm gonna cut them some slack if they're, doing some very stupid stuff. But hopefully they did some good shit. I don't know. I haven't looked at this person's choices. So he is going up against a ex-club member of mine, so the competition is going to be pretty, tough in general if that person puts up a whole bunch of points. So, I mean, in other words, he's probably going to have to use all of his tickets. All right. Let's go ahead and begin. You guys, I'm like hardly even awake, and I have so much stuff I have to do today. So, let's see. The prep. It looks like he prepped glue, melons, ladders, rolls, tables, chairs, and watches. All right, cool. Issue is I don't see what you prepped for your factories. I hope this picture was not taken at the start of the contest, which I'm assuming it was. Why aren't your factories prepped? Those should be prepped. Okay, let's see here. Looks like he's showing me how much VU he has and his deliveries and such. Okay, so right here, if you ever have this situation and you don't have an assignment for it, or let's say comm doesn't start for 6 hours or something, just send in a new shipment. That way you can start that timer. Otherwise, what's going to happen is comm will start in 6 hours. You'll only have an hour left on that flight, and it's unlikely that you're going to be doing, a non-premium Paris right away. I mean, it's possible, but it's unlikely. So usually I just send out the flights to try to make the timers more accurate to the contest of mayor's time. But again, I don't know when these photos were taken, so we'll see. Okay, let's start with his non-existent task assessment. You have to start doing task assessments, okay? Now, this player is sending me all of his screenshots on Messenger, and I'm supposed to be looking at them as he goes and then giving him advice as he goes. That's usually one-on-one training, except for I was super busy this week, so I was unable to do that. So he was pretty much on his own all week. I haven't really seen any of the stuff that he's done, but I want you to know that going forward, I need you to do a task assessment. So you're going to label your assignments. Now, for those of you guys who are not familiar with what a task assessment is, it's where you go through and you label, the tasks premium or non-premium, main, rotatable, no touch, cancel. It's very important that you know the difference between all of these phrases and what they mean and how to break down your list, because simply choosing your tasks based on value and convenience will only get you so far. Okay. The first one is a premium. It is in the streaks. That is the VU. Okay, now what this means is that starting off this week with a premium secured in the streaks kind of sucks, especially when it's one with a very high algorithm like VU, because what this means is that we know we're not going to get it throughout the duration of the contest, at least until the streaks are over, which is pretty much at the end of the contest. So, yeah, I mean, you can cross off easy VU tasks throughout the week off the list. Now, it's at main task value, so we would mark that with an M. Main task means 2,000 points or higher in your list. Premium means can be worth 3,000 points or higher. The next one is a non-premium keys. Now, a non-premium task is a task that cannot be worth 3,000 points. This is a double points week, so essentially, if you're trying to go for a 2K average on a normal week, you're trying to go for a 4K average on a double. Now, sometimes it makes it hard for people to remember, when rotating things on a double week, to cut their numbers in half and look at the assignments as if it was a normal week. So this here is basically a 2,000 point keys task. Now, that is of main task value, so we would mark that with an M, and we would mark it NP for non-premium. The next one is a non-premium main dozer. Okay, so this is where you unlock a piece of land. Ideally, what you want to do if you're on the Missy's Building Guide is get these ones done as fast as possible so that they are not in your list when you get to Mega. Reason being that these are almost always in your list once you have them. And once you do them, you just have to, obtain more dozer to keep doing them, and it's just kind of a difficult task to keep, continually doing. That being said, usually what we try to do is we try to max out our land before we get to Mega and hold the beach and mountain for when we get to Mega. Okay, I mean, don't hold the, the items, but don't unlock the plots. The next one is a premium main task war delivery. So this one can be worth 3,000 points, in this case 6,000 points, and it's at main task value, so we would mark that with an M. Of these three here, the one with the best algorithm and the one with the best value possibility, which would be the 3,000, would be that war delivery. That would be his first choice. It's also limited. It means that he can only do it during active war on the monster, so getting that done and that taking priority over assignments that can be done at any time, that is just another added benefit. If you're practicing the contest of mayor's math, you would add all of this into your math equation, basically. Okay, the next one is a non-premium 1600 repair disaster. This here is, at this value, we do it for the value possibility, but we do it when there aren't, better options. So non-premium, rotatable value. It's below 2,000 points, so this would be marked with an R. The next one is a 1600 design challenge. He's camping, he's a low-level player, so that would be a no-touch. Non-premium, no-touch. Okay, the next one is a premium, so shop productions and factory productions are considered premiums for low-level players, not high-level players, just low-level players. Of these two, the chairs and the minerals, they both bring decent opportunity and would be marked as rotatable as well because they are below the 2,000 points on a normal week. Okay, so the next thing we have here is a 1,200 epic challenge. Now, the thing with this is if we can do this early on in the contest, great, to open up, some opportunity. But if you get close to the streaks, you don't want to do this, especially if you're a low-level player, right? Because what'll happen is you'll continue to get epic project tasks, and then when they come back in the streaks, you could be on a downtime for your epic project. And what that means is that you have to wait 12 hours to start another epic, which if you only have 24 hours to finish the streak, you could potentially be 10 hours into a streak with a 12-hour downtime. You could pretty much fail a streak. You have to be very careful when you rotate epics anywhere close to the streaks. Same thing with factory productions, okay? All right, so delivery to Tokyo is a premium that can be worth 3,000 points. We also have an upgrade London building for 3,000, or 2,000, can be worth 3,000. That would be considered premium, but it's no touch. So we would mark it premium, no touch. The next, or the one above that would be a premium rotatable, okay? The launch disaster on the monster is at 1,000 points. This is its lowest points value. At this value, we would not touch it. It has an extremely high algorithm rate. It only comes back over and over and over again. Don't touch it at this value. So that would be marked non-premium, no touch. The next one is a non-premium, can only be worth 2,400 points, and it is a war assignment for 800. Now, we don't have any other tasks holding that 800 place value, which is not a good thing, meaning that unless something comes in for 800, if we rotate this, we will likely get another 800-point task in return sometime after rotating it, which would kind of defeat the whole purpose, right? But if he ends up in a situation where his list is full of upgrades and things that he can't do, he may have to resort to rotating that, probably sometime closer to the streaks, depending on how his week goes. So, starting off with the first choice, it would have been the war delivery. That was correct. Okay, now what I want you guys to pay attention to is something that I talked about in a recent video that I did, and that was following the storyline of your week. We're going to start doing that along with our walkthroughs. So essentially what I do when I do your guys' walkthroughs is I look at your week all at once, which is a little bit you know, easier for me to see the storyline because I'm looking at it in a 30-minute period where you're doing this stuff over a course of several days. So there's a lot of things that you forget about assignments that have been there previously and things like that. That's why it's very important for you to keep an album of your screenshots, even if you're not submitting them to me directly for grading. Maybe you're not even in our group and you're watching this and you're trying to learn from stuff. The best thing you can do is learn from your own mistakes. Go back over your work, look at what you've done, make a storyline. What we're doing here is a storyline. I'm telling you what should be done, and we're going to follow it through, and we're going to watch all the patterns, and this is how I made the Contest to Mayor's Guide. I basically went through my choices and other people's choices, and I just watched for patterns. I watched for algorithms, and I went, okay, if you did that and it just immediately came back, could be a fluke. But when you start to see things happen over and over again, you start to pick up on patterns, right? Now, a storyline for you guys, each doorway, each task that you complete has a chance of returning, right? And you can predict these outcomes if you pay very close attention to your previous choices. But if you're not paying attention, you're just going from one choice to the next without looking back on any of them, you're not going to see what's about to come up, right? That's probably why you guys watch the walkthroughs and you're like, well, how did I not see any of this? Because you weren't looking for it. That's why. Okay. So part of the storyline here is me telling you, like, what's about to come up and all that good shit. So right now we have the grass, and this is at a pretty low value. We have other assignments that are worth more, so it doesn't make sense to do the grass. Of the main assignments that are left, so the main assignments are going to be the ones that are 2,000 points on a normal week, so 4,000 on a double. We have keys and we have land. Now, if he has land that he can unlock, then great. He can go ahead and do that if he wants to just get it done. Clear up some space in his inventory and get another piece of land done. If he does not, then he would go with the keys. Okay, so he does keys. All right. Now he gets a main premium upgrade war disaster card. That would be correct. Okay, so he upgrades that. Now he gets a 2400 Latin. Now this is not at no touch value, but we do need to be careful because we had a upgrade roll in 3 tasks in of main task value, right? Canceling this would be foolish, and there's a couple of reasons why. 1, because it's not at 3,000 points. 2, because it has the ability to come back worth 3,600 points, 7,200 on a double. So that would only open up the possibility of it returning for more. And it only has one other value point that it can come back as, which would be, they can come in for 1,200, 2,400, and 3,600. And you're hoping for the least? Yeah, no. Not a good plan, especially when you need it to be here in order to start the streaks. So that is going to be marked no touch. We're not going to touch it at all for the duration of the contest. Moving on with the list, we have a 4,000 land. Like I said, if he can't do that, then we would just have to ignore that. Now, 2 tasks of main task value are not doable at the moment. At least one of them is not doable at the moment, and will probably just come right back anyways. So moving down the list, we have a non-premium 1,600 repair, non-premium 1,600 design challenge. Okay, so we have 2 tasks right now worth 1,600 points. You really do need to give me some more bottom screenshots, okay? This is going to be a rough week to grade. So here, we've got the 2,600 on the chairs. Half of that would be 1,300. Doesn't make sense to go down to a 1,300 task. Doesn't make sense to go down to 1,000 points on the task. So this next choice here was a big mistake. Here, right here. I don't know what happened to my low-level players, but a lot of them are starting to play like high-level players, and it's really screwing you guys up. I don't know if you watched a high-level video or what's going on, but I'm going to say this, and I want everybody to listen very, very carefully, okay? You guys are taking cuts in your profits, essentially, okay? So you could have had 1,600 points for the repair. Now, as a low-level player, it is really important that you do not get swamped with upgrades very, very quickly, okay? What's happening here is when you do a 1,000 point assignment, the game tries to level you out. It almost always gives you a 3,000 point assignment in return, which sounds great and all, right? But it's not. Not for a low-level player. Not when you have no other upgrades on your list, hardly, and when you just had one come in. So you have all of these possibilities for upgrades, and you just rotated something that is a trick for a high-level player to get a high upgrade. That would be the worst thing that a low-level player could do, right? You've just had an upgrade come in, and you just rotated a low premium in hopes of getting a high premium with 6, or well, not 6, because you have 2 others, one other at the bottom, but you have like 5 other possibilities for upgrades. That's foolish, absolutely foolish. So here, what you should have done is looked at the contest to mayor's math. And you should have said, okay, what's the value difference? Well, the value difference is 600 points. Right? So for 600 points less, what's the risk? That's part of the equation in the math. What risk do you have here? You have a very high risk of an upgrade coming in. We're going to be practicing the contest to mayor's math. I'm going to be going through some random questions, and we're going to practice it because you guys have got to stop making these types of mistakes. Now, lucky for him, he got the 3,000 war card upgrade. But let me tell you, that is not a good thing to do for a low-level player. Okay, so he does that, he upgrades, and he gets hit with a 2,000 point upgrade Tokyo. So now we're, 5 assignments in, and we've already got 3 out of our 7 upgrades on our list. Not a good thing so far. So the next one would be the repair. Okay, so now he does the repair. Okay. And he gets plastic. Now here is the tricky part. I don't know what he's prepped. I assumed he prepped like feed or something. But after seeing his picture at the beginning, I don't know. If he did not prep anything, long factory production, then I would tell him to go with the plastic. If he had a bunch of feed prepped, I would probably then suggest you look at your entire list and see if there's any way that you can work around that for long periods of time. I don't see that happening. I see him, even if he doesn't do the plastic, he'll probably just have to do it like right after anyways, so there's really no point. But what I would advise he do, if he did prep feed, is not pick up all of the feed. Just pick up partial, so that if you do get it for 2 rounds, you at least have 1 round already done and ready for pickup. So he does the plastic, and he gets the 6,000 war card upgrade again. Okay. And there's the repair. Now he just did repair. Okay. Here's the tricky part. Right now, we really can't afford any price cuts or point cuts. So even though he just did the repair, I would advise he do it at least 1 more time. If it comes back again for 1,600 or lower, then I would advise he not do it, but I would go with the repair again. Okay, now he's got a 6,000 upgrade Tokyo. Great. Now he's got metal. That's going to be his next move. And then if something better doesn't come in here with metal, we're going to have to kind of figure out what's going on, because if it wasn't for those 2 6,000 point work hard upgrades, his score would be dropping. Now he's got a main task smoothies, so that's good. So that would be the next choice. Now here he has a main sugar task. Now we can't afford to take downtime right now, and he's got 3 assignments at main task value. So actually it would be good that he do something like the grass or the chairs or something down below while he preps the first round of the sugar, which would be, or technically the second round. So prepping half of the sugar. what is that, 15 sugar? Because I think he's got 40 slots, so he can do 15 to 20 sugar. And work his other doorways. This would allow for, hopefully, no more high upgrades to come in, because it's, you know, we've got 3 main tasks sitting there, but we do still have room for high tasks to come in. So I would have went with either the chairs or the grass. I can't remember what the points value was on the chairs since I don't have any bottom screenshots. Okay, see, that was a mistake. This made no sense. This was a big mistake, actually. So here we have 2 shop production tasks, okay, of 2 different shops. One's for furniture, one's for garden. One's worth 2,800 points. One's worth 2,600 points. Why would somebody do a task that is equal in opportunity and lower in value over the other? Why would they do that? That doesn't make sense, does it? I'll tell you why. Convenience. For whatever reason, maybe he had chairs prepped, maybe he didn't have grass, maybe he had something else prepped in his garden shop that he didn't want to remove. I don't know. But it was the wrong choice. Because you're probably going to have to do grass soon anyways, so the couple hundred points that you lost there really didn't help you at all. So now he gets a war delivery of 3,000. Now he's got seeds, so hopefully he only prepped, like I said, about 20 of the sugar, not filled it up. And he was see, again, this doesn't make sense to me. Why didn't you do the seeds here? Did you really prep all of the damn sugar at once? Because that's exactly why we don't do that. That is the exact reason why we don't do that. Now he gets feed. 43 feed. Well, that's definitely not getting done anytime soon. Now he takes downtime for sugar. This was probably the biggest mistake ever. I mean, it's not this one mistake. It was all the mistakes that he did leading up to this mistake, including this mistake. First, he starts by, I'm assuming, filling all of his factory slots with sugar. The reason that we don't do that is so that if we get other factory tasks beforehand, we don't have to take the downtime. That scenario is a perfect example of why we don't do that. Because what you could have done is you could have done the seeds and continued working and accomplishing stuff and not had to lose out on like 4 hours worth of downtime. You could have allowed the first batch of the sugar to make, continued on with your list, and then picked up the first round of the sugar and then finished up with the second round. Because once you start the task, you can't continue on. But because you filled the factories, you couldn't do that. So he takes downtime during war, gets another war card upgrade. Now he's got wood for 3,500 and seeds for 3,100. So it only makes sense to do the wood. Now we've got a 3,200 on metal, 3,100 on seeds. Metal. Okay. Now we've got the repair again for 3,200. Now right now it doesn't make sense to do this. This would be the 3rd time we've done it for this exact value, which is still below the 2K threshold. It would actually make more sense to do the seeds since they have better opportunity and they're only 20 points difference in points. What did he do? Did you really do that? Are you kidding me right now? Why would you do that? Why would you do that? You know, just the littlest bit of thought goes a long way. The littlest thing. All he had to do is go, okay, how many times have I done repair? 3 times now. This will be the 3rd. What are the points values on this? 1,600 on a normal week. What are my other options that are close in value? Seeds. How long have seeds been sitting there? Quite some time. So it's a different doorway that offers better opportunity that hasn't been done yet. And the value difference is what? 20 points. 20 points for better opportunity for a new doorway. Not doing a repetitive task that is non-premium for a premium task. Seeds is premium. You've got to be kidding me. Now, the only logical solution that I can come to for this nonsense would be that you filled your factories with feed. And if you did that, that means that you didn't listen to anything I've said, because it's 43 feed. You only had to prep 5 feed. You could have left all your other slots available. So how would it make sense to prep 40 of them? And that's the only solution I can come to. So now, if I flip this picture and I see that you do seeds right after the repair, I think my head might implode. You guys are going to kill me. There's the repair for 4,000. Well, now it's at least at main task value. Oh my god. So he's got 3,200 on keys, which haven't been done yet, but non-premium. Seeds would still be there. Okay, so you didn't fill your factories with feed. You just made a stupid mistake, obviously. Okay, perfecto. Now we've got a 2,400 regular residential. So you move to the non-premium keys that was holding your repair doorway. Now it brings in coins, so you move down to the minerals. You know, you haven't provided me with like hardly any bottom screenshots at all. What the hell's going on? I mean, I don't know how much more specific I can be. You have to give me bottom screenshots. How am I supposed to grade this? 25 tasks in several high upgrades. All of them pretty much at main task value besides one. You're in a bad spot. So, at this point, with there being so many assignments left, and if you continue on doing whatever it is that you're doing, now, with it the way that it is, you're only going to get closer to the streaks with no time of canceling, but that upgrade did just come in, so it would be foolish to cancel it right this very second. So, what option do you have at this point? Well, let's see. You've got 1, 2, 3, 4. You need one more upgrade. Right? You've got Paris, residential. I think you're just missing the old town. Latin, Tokyo, London, design. Yeah, it looks like you're missing the old town, which sucks because that's one worth a lot of points. Okay. At this point, you can either do the epic or the launch common war attack. Now the problem is, if you do the epic, it could continue to come back on you, which you do have some time before the streaks. So I would have went with the epic. Yeah, I would go with the epic. What the hell are you doing? What the hell? What the hell, dude? I'm like, literally, I'm trying to think of any logical reason why you would have done that. Last resort rotatable. If you are at your last resort, not even halfway through the contest, you have a very big problem. That is not last resort. You had epic and you had war card that you could have rotated. And you chose coins? Okay, well, wonderful. Fan-fucking-tastic. So, now, when you cancel, because now that's really your only option, is to cancel. You're going to have to cancel the Paris. But the problem is that, well, now you have another upgrade coming in for main task value. And we don't know if you cancel that, if it's just going to come right back, because the game could just be wanting to give you upgrades right now. So, yeah, that really sucks. And to rotate anything but that would be kind of pointless, right? Because no other upgrades can come in at this point, and you've got 14 tasks to go before you can even think about doing the streaks, and no long factories secured besides feed. So, yeah, I would cancel the Paris. And now he does the epic. Fan-fucking-tastic. Now we've got coins. Are you serious right now? Really? You can't afford this. Epic. Plastic. Oh, if he does coins again. Really? Really? You've done coins 3 times. Now you have 9 tasks to go before streaks. Now you can't cancel. But you're doing the wrong thing. Even if you weren't going to cancel. Look at this. 1,500 points. 0 opportunity. It's going to come back. And when it does, it's not going to be worth squat. And you're like, pachink, do it again. Good, at least that doorway got squashed. Please don't tell me you do chems. Are you fucking with me right now? Are you seriously trying to give me a stroke? 8 tasks before the streaks. Mind you, we are only 4 days in. What the hell is wrong with you? Wow. Just wow. Wow! Are you fucking serious? You guys... What planet are you people on? You specifically. You are 7 assignments away from the streaks. Why the hell would you open up 10 hours of production? Oh, for fuck's sake, if he does coins. Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. 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 Watch him. Watch. How much y'all want to bet that he's going to do epic? Just stick the knife further. Oh! Amazing! He doesn't. But you know what else he didn't do? He didn't rotate anything else to get those long factory productions in. I hope you get smacked with feed. You deserve it. I am appalled. Absolutely astounded. There's chems. We knew that was coming, though. There's textiles. Seeds. Which at least seeds aren't bad. Sugar. Well, that sucks. Now? Now you do the epic? Why? Why now? Where's the logic in that? To secure some long factory? Did you finally be like, oh shit, looky there. Ouch, maybe I should have secured some factory assignments. Now we're at value trumps op. Shoot me. Okay. So. Yeah.